So this was my very first time ever doing a fast of any sort, aside from intermittent fasting. I did do that for like, health and fitness reasons, but a spiritual fast. This was the first time, and I'm not gonna lie, in the past, I never knew really what it was about. You read about it in the Bible or whatever, and you're just like, okay, not eating something. I like to eat. I'm gonna eat, so I ain't messing with no fasting. I can just pray and do whatever and hear from God, blah, blah, blah. But this is the first time that I actually did it, for real, and I didn't know what I was doing. My wife actually suggested that we do it. So we did the Daniel fast. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all the details. My wife had all the details, so I just was like, all right, this is what we can and can't eat. All right, cool. So, I will put a link down in the thing if you want to see, more about it if you're interested in doing it. But I'm just gonna be real with you. I don't remember nothing. All I remember is what I couldn't eat and what I could eat. But with that, we decided to do this 21-day fast, and I was just like, man, why not? We started it New Year, January 1st, and it was kind of wild. It was a heck of a process because, in my mind, I was thinking, all right, even though she was explaining to me all the little details and how this, that, and the other gonna go, I'm just like, all right, cool. I just can't eat, stuff that I normally eat fine, but I can still eat other healthy things that still taste good, but even those were bad. Like, it's a real strict thing or whatever. So anyway, the first couple of days, it was cool. I was just like, what, this ain't too bad. This is like, what do people be talking about? Like, oh, this is hard, this, that, and that. Like, this ain't bad, and, because of that, I had built up a little bit of confidence in my own, like, self-will or whatever, or willpower, if you will. And, it was cool. But once it hit, like, day 7, day 8, that's when it started getting a little real, and I was just like, all right, it's kind of whack. Why do we choose to do this? Like, this is kind of stupid. But I still wanted to make sure I was getting the spiritual aspect of it. So, I started different Bible reading plans on my phone, the little Bible app, and, just praying through that and getting clarification through that. And I tell you, man, what I had learned just in those first few days is that to fast, you really got to give yourself over. And people say that all the time. And I never really, honestly, truly understood what that meant until, I was doing the process or whatever. And when you fully give yourself over and say, you know what, me as a person, even though I can have the strongest will, out of the whole entire world, your humanness will flaw you, and it'll make you not be as strong as you thought. So those first few days, I realized if you give yourself over and truly give yourself over to him and just say, hey, this is what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it, but I need your help. I know I'm gonna need your help just because I know I'm flawed. Then he really works in you, because I learned, he's not somebody who forces anything. If you open up and allow him to do stuff, he'll do what he's gonna do. But you can't force it, or he can't force it, So you have to open up the door for him to do that. I'm not necessarily saying you have to fast in order to experience this, but I am saying, since it's the first time that I've done it, and I've never done it before, I've noticed the difference. If you want God to speak to you a little bit more, which he's kind of always speaking to you, that's the thing. Fasting will help that, because again, like I said before, it's that distraction. You're taking away those distractions. It's really focused on just listening and trying to hear more from, the Most High. Because I think a lot of the times, before this fast, when I would pray and read or whatever, I would do it and I'll be genuine with it, but it was more like check marking or whatever. Whereas now with this fast, it's like I'm learning now what joy is. And matter of fact, I was journaling about this before I made the video, just to kind of recap and talk about some of the things that I experienced during the fast. And I'm gonna cheat real quick. I'm gonna grab it. This is my little journal right here, superhero thing. I think I've experienced what his joy is. He brought me to revelation that his joy comes from contentment, and that contentment comes from peace, and then it recycles. It's like a big recycling thing. Joy from up above comes from contentment, And you can't have that contentment unless you have peace, and peace comes from above. So when you're in those moments of like, because I had those moments during this fast and even sometimes before the fast, but I think more specifically during the fast, where I had this moment of peace where I'm just like, you know what? Even though things look the way they do, I'm just at peace. There's peace in my soul and in my spirit. It's just peace. And even though outside situations look the way they did and everything else, I'm just like, I'm really peaceful. I don't know why. Because of that peace, I was able to experience what contentment is, and not necessarily contentment, because for a while I was getting I was getting contentment and complacency, you know, like this. I thought it was pretty much the same thing, but it's not. So once I kind of figured that out, I was like, okay, so I'm at a moment in my life where I'm just feeling peace right now. That peace is bringing me contentment at where I'm at right now, because you can't describe it. You just got to feel it, that kind of peace. And then once you have that peace, that builds onto that contentment. That contentment builds onto joy. And I believe that's what that means when people say experiencing God's joy is that. And then it just recycles. So peace comes back on top, contentment, joy, peace, contentment, joy, peace, contentment, joy. So, and I also learned during this that as long as your heart is genuinely longing for Him and wanting to know more about Him, He'll meet you where you at. Some of the takeaways for me that I've noticed and I've taken note of was that, of course, my body feels a lot better. It looks a lot better. I noticed a lot of bloating and puffiness around my midsection went away. My mind is a little bit more clear. I go to bed pretty early. I'm more focused. I'm more energized. The last week of the fast, that weekend going into the last weekend, like when I was training for my job and everything else, I was just in creative mode. It really cleansed my body, you know, inside and out. I learned that because I wasn't giving my body what it wanted, you know, the type of food I wanted, it made me learn self-control even more. Like, I feel like now I got one heck of a self-control, and I feel like it's activated the Holy Spirit even more that's inside of me. So what I mean by that is, like, Holy Spirit's always been in there, but I feel like I've unlocked a new level of it. Thank you for watching. I know it's a little all over the place, but you know what you're gonna do. But I appreciate you taking time out to watch it. I encourage you to do it if you're thinking about doing it or doing a variation of it. And yeah.